Okay, hello YouTube. This time I'll try not to sit on the mic. Though I may have still bumped it a little bit as I was putting it on. Sorry about that. All right, let me get my bearings, check some things on my phone, and then we'll get into the stream. Thanks for joining. I have here, sorry, let me do something. Well, it doesn't really matter at this point. I am going to read from an Imprint quick read. This is and I'm going to try not to like. Oh, hey, someone says hi. Hello, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I can't. Never mind. But thank you for stopping by. I should get my glasses on so I can see the chats more easily, I think, but it'll be okay for now. So, this is from Imprint. Imprint quick read, The Science Behind Andrew Huberman's Morning Routine. I don't really remember who Andrew Huberman is, but I know he's a big deal. Visualized insights from the Huberman Lab podcast. A good morning routine sets the tone for the whole day. With the right choices, it's possible to promote sustained focus, energy levels, and productivity. Sustained focus. I want that. Energy levels. I want that. I need that, and sometimes I don't have it. I will say on the days that I exercise, I have a lot higher energy level. And productivity. Yes, productivity is important, and I struggle with productivity. These are all things that I could use help with. Andrew Huberman, Stanford neuroscientist and host of the acclaimed Huberman Lab podcast, has designed his morning routine to do just that. Oh, interesting. And there's visuals here. There's an alarm clock at 5:30. There's a glass of water. There is a picture of the sun, so I assume that means getting some sunlight. There's a 45 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 7 degrees Celsius, shower. There is a weight, so I assume like weightlifting exercise, and then a cup of coffee. Interesting that it hasn't shown breakfast on this image, but let's go on. In this quick read, we'll explore the science behind the 3 practices he finds most effective: sunlight exposure, cold exposure, and delayed caffeine intake. Delayed caffeine intake is interesting. Huberman's number 1 tip for the morning is to view sunlight within the first hour of waking up. He does this for several reasons. I'm immediately thinking, like, are my studio lights bright enough to replace sunlight? So awake less than 1 hour, open the shades and see the sun. Each cell in our bodies has an internal circadian rhythm or biological 24-hour clock. Sunlight helps align these clocks, which results in increased wakefulness. It's a neat graphic too. It shows sunlight, and they're like some clocks with random times, but the clocks in the sunlight are all aligned in time. That's nice. Natural light also modulates the timing of what Huberman calls the cortisol pulse. That's one I haven't heard of. But it looks like it's like you're going along low cortisol and then pump, and then it comes back down, but then it goes back up again. I don't know. Cortisol, a stress hormone, increases focus and alertness. Light from the sun signals the body to release a large dose once every 24 hours. That is interesting. According to Huberman, is it Huberman or Huberman? I should find out. An earlier boost of cortisol is preferable not only for improved focus during the day, but also for improved sleep at night. This makes sense. And it shows a plot where you hit 6 a.m., you have your cortisol boost, and then you wait for it to go back down, and then you catch your sleep, you get your better sleep later, and then it's 6 a.m. again, and you start the process over. This initial cortisol release helps our bodies time the production of hormones that make us sleepy. Makes sense, right? If you have the wake-up jolt in the morning, your body will be ready for the sleepy time something in the evening. Lastly, photons from the sun's rays trigger our brains to release dopamine, typically referred to as the feel-good molecule. I've heard it as the feel-good chemical, but yeah, molecule works too. And the graphic here shows a picture of the sun and says that it resets internal clock, triggers dopamine release, and initiates cortisol pulse. While dopamine does have mood-enhancing effects, it also increases drive and helps manufacture adrenaline. Huberman refers to it as life force. That's a powerful way of describing it. So the sun triggers dopamine release. Did I say Doberman? Oops. The sun triggers dopamine release, which elevates mood and increases drive. For all these reasons, viewing sunlight within the first hour of waking up helps us increase focus and motivation. Awake less than 1 hour, open the window and view the sun. Well, viewing the sunlight. I guess don't stare straight at the sun, right? Because obviously. If the sun isn't out when you rise, which it may not be, I don't know when the sun rises these days, Huberman recommends turning on artificial light and then going outside once there is sun. Awake less than 1 hour, artificial sunlight, going outside for the real sun. There's a summary panel here. I'm going to save it. It says that it imprint quick read, the science behind Andrew Huberman's morning routine. The sunlight resets internal clock for increased alertness, triggers dopamine release for elevated move and drive, and initiates cortisol pulse for better focus and sleep. Three times a week, Huberman also does a 1 to 3 minute cold water exposure, 45 Fahrenheit or 7 Celsius, either in the shower or in an ice bath. Spoiler alert, I don't think I'm going to take a 45 degree Fahrenheit shower any number of times a week. Sorry, Andrew Huberman. Cold temperatures shock our nervous system, yet another way to spark adrenaline production for increased energy and improved mood. In fact, a study published in 2000 found that exposure to extremely cold water leads to a near doubling of, the cold water exposure leads to a near doubling or more of dopamine and adrenaline production. The long arc release of these hormones helps us stay focused for longer and substantially enhances mood, despite the initial pain of cold water. So what you get is you get better mood and better focus. But you have to be cold. I don't know if I can take that trade. (45 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 to 3 minutes, 3 times per week. Controlled cold exposure stimulates the body to produce dopamine and adrenaline, boosting overall energy, mood, and focus. Save that from the quick read. Finally, Huberman always delays his caffeine intake by 60 to 90 minutes after waking up. Surprisingly, this makes him more alert throughout the day. I wonder why that might be. Also, I think it would be hard for me to delay my caffeine intake by 90 minutes from when I wake up, but we'll see about that. This is because caffeine blocks adenosine, I don't know. A chemical that builds up while we're awake to make us feel sleepy. This chemical builds up while we're awake and makes us feel sleepy. Side note, I saw someone on a tea review that says, I'm not going to go into all kinds of blah 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 about tea. Tea is not a psychoactive compound. Tea is not psychoactive. No, it's absolutely psychoactive. I mean, it's right here. Caffeine blocks adenosine. That is a chemical that matters in the brain, so it's absolutely active in your brain. Anyway, that was a digression. So the fact here it's saying is that caffeine blocks adenosine, a chemical that builds up while we're awake to make us feel sleepy. If it blocks a sleepy-making chemical, why would delaying caffeine help? Let's see what it says here. If we drink coffee or tea first thing in the morning, once its effects wear off, we feel a dramatic energy crash in the afternoon. Oh, I see. So by delaying his caffeine intake, Huberman is able to avoid this crash and feel more energized throughout the day. Okay, so if you start your caffeine later, the post-caffeine crash comes later when you're actually ready to rest anyway. That works. Blocks adenosine. Delaying caffeine 60 to 90 minutes after waking prevents an afternoon slump in energy after its effects wear off. Now this looks like their summary of the whole thing. Many of us dread the morning, but the choices we make in the hours after waking up can set our whole day up for success or failure. Andrew Huberman's morning routine. Let's save this one too. Can you do that on anything? Maybe you can. Wake up early, drink water, have sunlight. They didn't mention the water in detail at all. Take a cold shower, exercise, coffee. By incorporating Huberman's simple tips, we'll be able to work with our body's natural chemistry and rhythms instead of against them. Sunlight, focus, energy, productivity. Cool. Now it gives me a main ideas quiz. Andrew Huberman's morning routine increases focus, energy, and productivity. His most effective practices are sunlight exposure, cold exposure, and blank caffeine intake. It'll be delayed caffeine intake. Done. That was a good chapter. I'll give it a plus. Okay, now what? Pardon my lack of attention. I know what I'm going to do next. First, let's light up a candle, because that'll be nice. And then I'm going to get ready to be over at my desk, and I'm going to start developing live on stream my new Skillshare class. We'll be good. Forgot about my mic, sorry about that. I'll start a 5-minute timer to indicate that I should be back on stream within 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back with my other mic. Now let's go to studio mode. If I can make it work. Yes, I can. Why is it? This is odd. It's, oh, I know what it is. Let's turn that off. Oops, wrong thing. Settings, it should be, it's on 1920 by 1080, that's interesting. Maybe I have to go into here. Custom, give me 1920 by 1080. There we go. That's better. So now I can switch over to this, cut you to there, exit studio mode. So, hello YouTube. Now, I'm going to do this slightly differently. Instead of mirroring my displays, I'm going to extend them so I can see different things on different displays. I'll bring this over here so that I can check my screen and watch my chats from over here. And I'm going to put Sonic Pi over there. Hopefully it'll work this time. Things don't look quite right there. Well, I'm gonna allow it for now, even though it's a little annoying that it's off center. So just out of curiosity, if I play this, do I hear it myself? T-R-E, okay, T-R-U-E, there we go. Okay, I can hear that. I could just send it to, you know what? Let me think about this. Visuals, audio, enable external synths, enforce timing guarantees, invert stairs, enable audio inputs, link connect, tap tempo. Audio inputs in Sonic Pi would be exciting. Save load, live, runs up. It probably just uses my default desktop device, which isn't going to work that well for me. So let's just try, and let's rename this desk webcam and duplicate this. Desk webcam plus Sonic Pi. Let's add a color source. Like that. Maybe a little darker. That one will work. That would make it a little darker though. Oops, I should have done studio mode. Sorry about that. Now I add a window capture, Sonic Pi window. Let me try putting that. It's not very much easy to see right now. I'd have to put it, okay, but obviously this needs to get a lot smaller. And this can get bigger. Also, I think it needs to be even bigger. Is it worth giving it an outline? I think it is. But what we can do, this will be a little messy, but it'll work for now. Okay. I can cut into that now. I just hope the audio is going to end up working for you. Compilation audio capture beta. Sonic Pi audio. Sonic Pi, okay. I need to cut this in now. I'm going to turn off studio mode. Oops, wait a second. I'm doing this wrong. Copy Sonic Pi audio. Paste. Reference. Now I have Sonic Pi audio there, and hopefully it'll work. Let's turn it down at first. And I want to monitor and output my lavalier mics. They're kind of quiet. Monitor and output my Sonic Pi. And now Sonic Pi, please, 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 please give me audio. Well, it kind of did, but it's not showing up where I want it to. Let's do this a little bit differently. Turn off the monitor on that. Make sure there aren't any other weird programs open that would give me weird audio. Just turn off notifications entirely for now, okay? That's fine. Lumina is fine, Sonic Pi is fine. Close this. That's all we got, okay. So now I can send my, come on. Send my audio output to, why won't it let me do this? Darn it, audio is not being friendly to me right now. Let's try it again the standard way. Or can I just do desktop audio? Audio output capture, what does this do? Let's monitor the audio output capture. Monitor the audio output capture, but the idea is that we're not monitoring the lavalier mic. So now let's try playing this and see if it shows up where I want it to. Yes, it does. Okay, turn that down. Okay, now let's just double check that things are kind of happening when I do this. Nice. Very nice. I could add some gain to my microphone, I think. Bring you up on that a little bit. How was that right now? That's good. Turn off the pedal. I definitely want to be monitoring this, right? I don't think I want to monitor lavalier mics because I feel like that could like mess things up in a way. Okay, let's stop this. Let's go to buffer 0. Move away these things to somewhere else. Go back to here. Oh, pardon me for my loud clap there. I am going to, I think, go into break mode for like 5 minutes and collect my thoughts about what I want to show you in Sonic Pi and what I would want to show on my class. So here goes. I'll send you to the T scene for now. Okay, I have a video that I recorded and that I could maybe play for you, but I'll just play it. This is the audio for you for now. because it goes over like what I want to show you here.
Hi, I'm Eric, captain of Moline Harbor, my very own digital services company.
Okay, I maybe don't love the part where I said that about Moline Harbor, but it's okay for now.
This month, the service we will be providing is teaching you the very fun fundamentals of music creation with a friendly tool called Sonic Pi.
Okay, so far so good. Oh wait, let me come back to the desk webcam. That's annoying that it was like that. Maybe I don't want to have this one be hidden when it's not being showed. Or deactivate when not being showed. Okay, continue.
Music is organized contrasts in sound.
I'm kind of proud of that one. Music is organized contrasts in sound.
Sound can be loud or soft. Groups of sounds can be fast or slow to arrive.
So sound could be loud or soft. Let's show how we can do that in code. Desk webcam plus Sonic Pi. I feel like this would look better if I gave it a little bit of, just 20 pixels of leeway on every side. Sonic Pi window. Give me a little bit more over here too. Oh, that's kind of annoying because it needs to be like that, but whatever, it'll be fine. And then I'm being fussy, perhaps unnecessarily, but let's do it. I want to take 300 off of each side of this, approximately. Yes, that'll do. Okay, this is looking good to me. Let's do a minor clap to signal the start of a new section of this video. Sorry, that was too loud. That was way too loud. How about a snap? Yeah, that's good. How about a light clap? Yeah, that's about right. Okay, I'll remember that. So, the first thing to say about Sonic Pi is one thing you can do is play notes. And because Sonic Pi is a simple and friendly program, it's a simple syntax. You don't have to write very many characters to make this happen. I can simply write play 65. Then I can use my mouse and scroll over here to the top left and click the run button. And let's hear what happens when we run this program. Nice. It plays it plays a tone. It turns out we can control the loudness or quietness, loud or soft, of this tone. And the way to do that, I won't explain why it works this way, but the way it works, for now I won't explain why it works this way. For now I won't explain why it works this way, I'll do that later, but I'll just tell you that I need to type, comma, AMP colon 0.5. Let's try that. And let's take away that and see if we notice a difference. Did you hear that? Let's try going significantly quieter. And again, let's hear the difference. Loud. Soft. There's one of our levers of control of how music sounds.
Sounds can be long or short. Groups of sounds can be fast or slow to arrive. Sounds can be long or short in duration.
Okay, let's talk about that one. Songs can be loud or short in duration. Let's take away our volume control. The way that you control how long a sound lasts in Sonic Pi is using release. So you do comma, space, RELEASE colon, and let's make this a nice long note. Let's call it 5. Hopefully I did this right. Hopefully I remembered how to do it. I will run the program by clicking run in the top left. Wait, there's my hand. So you see that? It makes it last a lot longer. Let's listen again. And it kind of fades out at the end. That's an interesting behavior. We won't talk about why that happens yet, but maybe we will later. Now let's listen to it in the default state. And let's try a different release, 0.3. Notice how it was like boom, boom. So that's long or short. And the final one is...
And sounds may have pitch, which makes something sound high or low.
Sounds may have pitch to sound high or low. And I haven't talked about it yet, but this number here, 65, it turns out that has to do with pitch. Let me demonstrate. If I play this now, it's that familiar tone. But what if I jump this up to 75? Oh, that's kind of nice. It's actually like the opening to There's a Place for Us. So let's try that. There's. And then how do we go? Probably here. Place. No, that's not it. 74. It must be a major third down. Place. 4. And then 67. Nice. That was fun. I'll talk later about why those particular numbers work for that particular melody. But I want to talk about something else here, which is the fact that so far our programs can only play one note. Well, what if we go to a new line, and in addition to play 65, we do play, let's make it 70. No, 72. How does this sound? Oh, cool, you can see it visually too. But listen again to how that sounds. Can you pick out the two distinct pitches? Let's listen to them alone. Oops. And now let's listen to them together. Oops, they're here, sorry. That's one of them alone. Here's the other one alone. And here they are together. But I said we can control the speed. Or rather, how did I put it in my video before?
Long or short in duration, can be fast or slow to arrive.
Fast or slow to arrive. Well, these ones are arriving darn fast. They're right on top of each other. They are actually right on top of each other. What can we do to make them arrive more slowly, one after the other? It turns out there's a command for that. Is command the right word here? I should look into that. We can simply say something like sleep 1. Let's do sleep 2. See how it went? Wait. Let's try a longer sleep. Let's try 5. This might be kind of boring, but let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I was close. Let's see if I can get the timing right this time. Play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that was close. Okay. What if we do something like sleep point 3? Oops, that's an error. It says, so, a comment about computers and errors. As a programmer, because what we're doing here is programming, as a programmer, you will make errors. The good news is, that's okay. These days, computers are durable. Computers can take your errors and keep on running. Look at my computer. It says syntax error. And yeah, it looks kind of angry here, but my computer's still running. It's still streaming to YouTube. You can still watch what I'm doing. So errors are not something to be afraid of in programming. Think of them as constructive criticism. And yes, constructive criticism can feel bad to get, especially if it's not delivered very tactfully. And let me say this, when you're working with programming computers, computers are not very tactful. I'm sorry, but they're just not. Let's read this example here. It says syntax error, colon, square bracket, buffer 0, comma, line 2, bracket. You might be wondering what a buffer is. We'll come back to that. Then it says no dot caret, digit caret, floating literal anymore, semicolon, put 0 before dot. Line 2, sleep dot 3. What on earth is it talking about? I feel like I should contribute to this software and give a better error message here, because this is not a good error message. What it's basically saying is you can no longer, in this version of Sonic Pi, use something of the form period and then a digit. Let's not worry about what a floating literal is. The point is you're just not allowed to do 0.3. It says 0.0 before dot. Excuse me, it says put 0 before dot. Well, let's follow that instruction and see if it works. Yeah, that's interesting. Notice how the two sounds overlapped a little bit. That was interesting. Let's change the release parameter on this so that they don't overlap. There, that's better. By the way, how's the volume of this? I think it's okay. I might turn it up slightly, though. Let's go over here, turn this up. Try it now. Oops, what we're doing. There we go. That's good. Did I just see something come up on the chat? If someone gave a reaction, thank you. If I didn't, and I'm just imagining things, I'm sorry for wasting your time with that. But if you did react, hey, drop a hello. Let me hear from you. Where am I? So, let's go to a new one. I'm going to write some comments. I'll talk about what comments are in code later. Oh, is it? How do I write comments? That's how you write comments. Okay. So, fast. All right, where should I start? Let's start with high or low. Play 65. Play 77. On comment. I don't need to write that instruction. I just say the instruction. The way this program works is I've introduced comments. Let's see what happens if I try to run this. Nothing happens. What if, for interest's sake, this hash symbol wasn't there and I try to run it? It says runtime error, buffer 1, line 1, thread death. Gosh, thread death? I mean, that's like, it's not friendly. It's not friendly. It says undefined local variable or method, high name error. Yeah, so this is just saying the computer program doesn't know what to do with HIGH as a symbol. But if I put in this hashtag, it turns out the computer knows to read this hashtag and ignore everything on this line and then move on to the next line. Now at this time, I would like the computer to make some sound. I would like Sonic Pi to play a note. So I will delete the comment out hashtag on line 2, and let's listen to this play 65. Then let's comment it out and go back to silence. Then let's try this play 77. Now for review, I'll play one after the other without talking. There we go. That's high or low. We can also have loud or soft, or let's say quiet. Play, let's do 67. Amp. Amp is short for amplitude. I'll do 1 even though it's technically redundant. Let's hear those two one by one. Run. Run. Hear that difference? It's pretty neat. Now, long or short, play 65, comma, release 4, play 65, comma, release 0.3. Let's try that. Let's try the 65, release 4. Nice and long. Play 65, release 0.3. Boom, 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 boom. Hard taking me a while to find notes, sorry about that. Okay, and finally, fast or slow. Multiple, no, 4 multiple notes. This could be play 70, sleep. Let's do it without the comments for now. Don't need to create them, just delete them. Sleep on 5, play 70. Let's run that. And now let's comment those out. And let's do play 70, sleep 5, play 70. And it waits, and it goes. Yep, there we go, good. Now that I have this, what I want to do is basics 1. I want to take this and put it on GitHub for you to work with. And I'm going to put it on Mullen Harbor. So I need to open that. I'll do this. No, we won't do it now. Hashtag note to self, hashtag to do, post this code to GitHub later today. Okay, that's that. Let's see what we can do with this from a musical art or artistic sense. Be musical. What if I wanted something that sounded like this? Ba, 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 ba. Could I write that? Yes, I could. Because, looking back here, what was happening? The high or low, well, it was one pitch, so that just stays the same. We can pick any pitch. Loud or quiet, that just stayed the same, so we can pick anything. I'll just pick the default, which happens to be 1. Long or short, well, these notes, they started long and then they got short. Did you hear that? Ba, 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 ba. And they also went from slow to fast. Listen for that. Ba, 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 ba. See it? Like that. Oops, gotta go over here. So let's do a play 70 with release of 2, and then a sleep of 2. Now let's play 70. This is where it gets interesting, because you get to decide how quickly things change. Pardon me, let's see what I got here. You get to decide how quickly things change. Let's say that the release let's drop it to 1.5. And let's sleep 1.5. That'll be the pattern. We sleep for the same amount as the release on the note. Now let's play 70, release. Let's do 1.2, I guess. Now let's run this. Uh-oh, there's a problem. Syntax error. Buffer 2, line 7. Look, it gives you a red arrow even. It says syntax error, unexpected float literal, expecting do, or curly brace, or parenthesis. Well, that's not very helpful. What gives? It turns out I might have noticed, I did notice, but I pretended not to notice it. But I could have noticed that this is a nice pink color, but this is still black. When you notice something doesn't line up with the color patterns in your text editor, pay attention. Here it's a hint that I forgot my Here it's a hint that I forgot my colon. Let's try this. See how it's moving faster already? Let's keep speeding it up. Play 70. Release 0.9, sleep 0.9. Then let's do this the same a few times. But from 0.9, let's go to 0.6. Play 70, release 0.9, 0.9, sleep 0.9. Play 70, release 0.6, sleep 0.6. Play 70, release 0.4, sleep 0.4. And let's do play 70, release 0.2, sleep 0.2. Let's do 0.1, 0.1 as like as far as we get. But let's do it a few times here. Okay, let's run this. See how it sounds. Let's do this again, but let's continue by making this longer. So more repetition, which is something that we'll also get into later. Repetition and repetition with subtle changes, or with big changes, is another thing in music. All right, but let's listen to this. Very good. Okay, that was that. Let's now say that we've had enough of a stream for today. We've been going for almost an hour. I'll leave you at the T Studio for like another 5 minutes, or maybe another 5 seconds, somewhere in between there. So let's go to the T Studio. But thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Be well. Thank you, and may you be well. That's a little off-center. It's not bad, though. Okay, goodbye.